All right. Thanks a lot. There's a lot of talk about Syria in the Council, and for obvious reasons. But there seems to be a lot less talk about Yemen, which is another major crisis. And it's almost like the Saudi-led coalition that's doing the airstrikes seems to imply that it has the invitation of the former or current government in exile, but it sort of acts that it has the UN Security Council's approval. But many of these strikes are in fact hitting, civilian facilities. Do you think, what should the Council do when there's an obvious ongoing, military offensive going on to ensure that civilians are not needlessly hit? What's the level of, do you think that the Council has been doing enough of supervision or oversight of this Yemen campaign? Thank you.
Okay, I will not refer to particular cases because we have many, and the debate was intended to have a general discussion on protection of civilians, of course. But just let me briefly refer to something that has to do also with the previous question. We think that an important issue in protection of civilians is also to avoid the utilization of schools and hospitals as military targets or as hiding places for military purposes. Unfortunately, in the last years, we have seen how schools and hospitals have been systematically used as shields or as targets. And both these actions are very harmful for civils, are criminal actions. So we strongly call to stop these practices and to respect hospitals and to respect schools as perhaps the most symbolic civil institutions that had to be protected. And we think that international community has to make an appeal to all parts, including that. Coming back to the core of your question, I would say that, well, of course, again, prevention is an important tool, and with this respect, and as we can see from the HAPO report, the high-level report on the reform of the peacekeeping operations, and it is also underlined by the Secretary General on its own report, we have to put an emphasis on political missions too. Many times we talk, about peacekeeping, peace building, and political good offices, but in reality, this is one thing. I mean, that sometimes for analytical purposes we distinguish in different phases, but they are closely interrelated. So when we talk about prevention, we talk about political missions, and in this regard, the political efforts taken by the UN bodies, by the UN authorities, we think are a key element in order to avoid these situations from happening, because once they happened, well, things became more difficult to be addressed. Thank you. Thank you very much.